Welcome to another episode of the Halloween Horror Movie Review. I'm telling this Dean. Tonight's movie was Inside, the unrated version. Let's get right into this.
Yeah.
Dean, how was the acting?
See, it's hard to tell because some of the characters, like, I hated the characters, but I don't know if that's the character as it's written or the portrayal. Like, the protagonist in this movie came off as just such a bitchy person that you don't sympathize, but I don't know if that's the character or her portrayal. I'd say the acting, I guess, was okay. I mean, like, the kid that was the victim at the end, you know, he acted like a kid kind of would, and, like, I don't know, I guess the acting was good enough. It was, I mean, not amazing. There was no one in there is winning an Oscar, but it wasn't bad. I'd say at least mediocre.
So, alright, what would you score it? Out of 5.
I'd say just a 3. Like,
3.
it was, I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't necessarily shitty. Give it a 3.
Here's my issue with the acting. It's a French movie. It has subtitles. We didn't watch it with subtitles. We watched it.
I do feel bad.
With a voiceover.
We didn't do it right. We did Dutch, not subs. So I apologize, Internet.
So I'm not sure. I think it was meant to be a gloomy movie, anyways. But yeah, I think the acting, the woman on the screen, or the women and the actors on the screen did great, but I don't like the voice acting. I don't think it was.
The dub didn't do as well as it would have if we...
Yeah, it just wasn't as heartfelt.
Yeah.
I guess it's hard to do when you're not actually acting, when you're just standing in a studio in front of a microphone.
Yeah.
So that took some points away from it, but yeah, overall acting, like you said, she was kind of gloom and doom right from the beginning, so you didn't really sympathize with the main character that was pregnant. But
so now's the part where you give it a number.
I'd have to give it a 2. Just didn't do it for me.
All right. For effects, I'd say it wasn't bad. I mean, there was the spot where the lady was outside and she punched the window. When she first punched it, it cut away real quick. But before it cut away, it was very obvious CGI. It didn't look great. But all, like, the gore and the viscera they show throughout the movie, just a lot of those kind of things, the way the woman appeared and then slowly disappeared in the doorway, those kind of things, it all actually looked pretty good. Like, visually and effect-wise, they did really well. I can forgive the one bad CGI thing. The rest, it looked really good. So aside from whether or not the woman should have lost copious amounts of blood, all the blood that she did lose and all the damage that she took and her injuries looked good. Mm-hmm. So for effects, I'd give it a 4, honestly.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. The gore was great. There were so many times in movies where you expect something to happen, and right before it does, they cut away or they just they don't show it. And this movie shows everything that you want to see, and it's literally disgusting and gory, and it all looked great.
But honestly, they killed a fetus in the first 10 seconds of the movie, so that really sets the tone. Like from there on, it's just. It is a gore fest, if nothing else.
Yes. Yeah, I'd give the effects a 4 as well.
All right. Now the big one. Story. I'll let you go first on this one.
Woo! Oh boy, where to begin? I just want to give it a number. Yeah, the story was non-existent.
Even just referring to it as a story feels wrong.
Yeah.
There was zombies, at least one.
Zombies, a demon, a ghost, a witch.
Yeah.
Maybe. We don't know.
It never explains what's going on with the other lady and why she doesn't die.
Like, it finally explains why she's doing it, but then right after that, another question comes up and you're like, WTF?
Yeah, is she dead? Is she not? Why didn't lighting her on fire make her dead? Like,
well, I was referring more to the zombie cop.
Well, yeah, that was...
Let alone the ghost lady in the beginning. There's the ghost lady that... I mean, I'm not talking about the lady from the outside that punched the window, but the ghost lady that faded out behind the couch.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Like, she just motionlessly just faded out.
Like, we
she
don't
be a ghost.
You couldn't even tell if it was the girl that was in the house that was doing all the murdering. You couldn't tell. I mean, it seemed like it because of the black dress, and the same body type, but it might not have been. I mean, I don't know. This story was crap. I give it a. I don't know. Do I want to give it a 1 or a 2?
I don't know. What do you want to give it?
I am so torn. I'm going to give it a 1.
I actually am right there with you. I also a 1. It was just it wasn't good. There was no semblance of story. Everything just felt pieced together. Like it seems like they lost track of the theme multiple times in the movie, and they just forgot where they were going, and just did something else. I noticed they had 2 directors or writers or whatever it was. I'm guessing they weren't working together, and like each filmed half a movie and just kind of glued it together. Because this was, like we said, it looked good. The acting wasn't bad, but the story was non-existent. So yeah, it's a 1 for me too.
I don't know if that's a thing with foreign films, French horror films, but yeah, it just didn't work.
Yeah, and so last note then, scare factor. I'd say that's kind of right there with the story. It's not.
It was gory, and that was it.
Yeah, they didn't even really do jump scares. They
No.
didn't anything that would actually be scary.
The only-
you might be disturbed by the viscera and the gore and the blood, but disturbing isn't scary.
The only thing I could think that would make people jump would be the Dimension Extreme title at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
That was it.
So yeah, 1 for the scare factor as well.
1 as well, yeah. Alright, so overall this movie, it got a 2.
Yeah, technically 2 1/8 if you want to be generous, but I don't because this was shit. So
It's
got a 2.
right. It's right where it deserves to be. I mean,
Yeah.
the gore was top notch, and the fact that they showed it all was even
Yeah.
better.
They just
visually it was stuff. I gotta mention the lady in the end holding the baby in the rocking chair. That was good imagery. I like
Yeah.
that.
and with half her face missing.
Yeah.
I mean, they did. It looked good, but there was nothing to support the visuals. So overall, it's still a subpar movie.
Yeah.
Like, despite how good it looks, you won't have the best time watching it.
So that was our Halloween Horror Marathon review of Inside. Check it out if you would want to, but I wouldn't recommend it.
No. But tune in next time. We've got a lot more movies.
Yeah. Good night.